Now I'm going to start on the body today. We've got some warmer weather, so I'm going to prime up the main parts and sort of do the main painting before we probably hit the main assembly. I've just got to decide how I'm going to do it. Certain things I might add afterwards, but we will see. Now I've got some of the body panels, as you can see, bits in the background done, and I'm still painting bits because the weather's been bad at times. It's been very damp, or if not raining. Now we're going to start on part one, and the first thing we're going to do is fit the brackets before we fit anything else. Where they show fit those bits first, not a good idea, because when you're screwing into, if you're going to break a little handrail, you will break it. So we've got the dashboard and a bracket, and you put it in on the back like so, and then we've got to try and get a screw in. This is quite hard plastic to go into, I can truthfully say. There we go, we got it in. Now you can see why I said leave the other bits off. Oh, one thing I said, I've done the dashboard silver, and I did some chop down gauges from an old gauge set as best I could, because I'm running out. I need a new sheet, so where I've run out of all the little ones, I'm chopping bigger ones down carefully to look a little bit like what we want. I'll tell you what, to get that to fit really tight wasn't easy, but they are, well, reasonably tight. It's not good. I think that's as good as it's going to get. And now we need some glue, which I'm on my last one, so I'm going to have to get some more. Put a little bit on each end, and it will simply, hopefully will slide in like so. There's the handrail, and all we've got left to fit is the steering wheel, which I'll show in a second because I haven't finished painting that, I've just realised. Now with the steering wheel, I'm not quite happy with the centre because there's a shrinkage mark, see that? And what I'd use, need a new top for the super glue. That's not good, it's broken off. Lucky I've got a spare. And all we want is a very small amount of super glue in the middle. And just added a little disc of plastic, just tidies it up a little bit. You know, it's very simple to do, because these are one of the most useful things you can have, these hole punches. Cutting thin ABS plastic, they are brilliant. So you can, like this was I think 1mm plastic, just punch it with a 4.5mm hole, and it just changes the steering wheel just enough. So I'm pleased with that. There we go, with the steering wheel popped in. That completes the first part. Quite pleased with that, and that can just sit to one side until it's needed. Now part 2 is putting on the mirrors and the mirror arm and the door handle. I'm going to leave those till nearer the end of the build, because they will just break off. They're very soft plastic. Well, they're hard plastic, but they'll break easy. And then what we've got to do is make 2 hinges up. I just spotted that, so we're going to make 2 hinges like so. What I've noticed with the pins is they are slightly tapered one end. You've got to try and find that. Well, from what I can see, you probably won't be able to see it. You see there's a slight different colour on the tip. I would say that's for the, well, I surmise it. Is it the bit in or the bit out? I don't really know, because thinking taper wise, you'd push the taper in. So take a hinge, another bit of hinge, and it shows it laid together like so, and then you push a pin in, and that's what I'm going to take a chance of, and hopefully they're a loose fit. So what I'm going to do is, just to give them a bit of a help, I'm going to push the pin out a bit. There's just a little bit showing. I'm just going to put a little dash of super glue, and loads came out. That's what I really needed. I'll tap the pin in. Should be alright. And then we'll put one in the other side. Nearly go all the way, and as we've got a little puddle of glue, that might be the better way of doing it. And a slight tap. And that's what you're going to make. Like I said, I'm not going to bother showing the other one because it's completely the same. Now, part 3 is putting on the inner panel and the glass. So let's find the right glass. One's on, one's off. I don't really know on the glasses, because they've got a bevel. Yeah, it should have a bevel. What's the right side for the right one? Not that one. Here's the glass. gentle scrape of the plastic. Now let's see how well this fits in. Doesn't really fit very well. So I'm going to have to admit I'm going to glue this off camera. Because have I got the wrong one? Yes, I've got the wrong one. It's hard to tell, but that was the wrong one. That is fitting a lot better. So what we'll do is we'll get the other one out. And I'll go and get me, I use a sort of clear, it's like wood glue, but it's called cockpit glue. Whether it makes any difference or not, I don't know. And we will fit the glass in. Yeah, that still not the greatest of fit. Now, part 3 is fitting the hinge, the smaller and a bit inwards, and it shows it inwards and it shows it that way up. Okay, I've prepped the inner door panel that goes over the top. That just pushes over, and I'm not going to glue it because it's like the pieces that are pushed in. Oops. They just push in, and as they're inside they're not going to get caught really, so it's pretty pointless trying to do that. But the screws, it shows machine screws. Well, there isn't none, because these are the screws, these little self-tappers that were actually in the bag with the hinges, so they fit, so they will be used. It fits between a gap in the door, this does. Really you should paint them, but trying to keep paint on this sort of metal would be like a losing battle. And then we take the inner panel, line it up, and hopefully it pushes on. Yeah, that needs nothing else. That was hard to push on, and I think it'll be just as hard to get off. There we go. But there's the panel with the push fit interior. One done. And I'm not going to show you the other door because it's exactly the same in reverse what we're going to do. And this will take us up to completing part 5. Now, part 6 was fitting the windscreen, which I made a bit of a hash of with the glue because it just doesn't want to stay in there. So I've used a bead of glue underneath, bits round with clear, sort of soft clear glue, and put the dashboard in. It won't look too bad, but it just doesn't fit at all to the cab, because whatever I tried, it just didn't want to stay in place. So hopefully the clear glue works, and then I'll add a bit more when it's dry another day. But then the thing is, I'm noticing more problems with this because it's designed by a bloody idiot, because I've now got to take the dashboard out to put the doors on, which is, I'm not worrying about the magnets or the wipers in part 7, but we're going to part 8, and then hopefully we can get that together. Now we've won the doors in place, I'm going to try and fit a screw somehow to the hinge. It's not gonna, I can't really show it to you because it's one of those impossible to get to things and show on camera too much, but that's one in. Like I said, I'm now going to take the dashboard out. You know, this is the wonders of severe bad design. Thing is, with that removed, I can now get the second screw in on the door. There we go, the door's on and it opens. It's very poor fit, but hopefully that wears in. It's on their rub points, so we'll see how it goes over time. And then the other door is fitted the same way. Slid in and then do the hinge. But it shows why I say don't you can see why I said don't put the mirrors on, because they'd last a couple of seconds, because you've got a late like this really to get the screws in. But this concludes stage well, except for no, it doesn't conclude, there's a couple more bits, but I'm going to pause it here while I get this last one in. Now the final part is fitting this bracket, and it's screwed into the under the dashboard, and it must line up with something on the floor. That's all I can guess to bolt that on. And that does conclude stage 8.